All right, welcome to the second review of the evening. Up this time is Soulstone Survivors. Face the Lords of the Void and their endless minions. Collect the Soul Stones and become a god. In this action roguelike, unveil secret spells, craft mighty weapons, unlock multiple characters, discover game breaking synergies, and conquer the power of the void. Right then, so we got the PlayStation 5 edition of this. So that means over to Petty Fan for the detail.
All right, so this game is very similar to the games like Vampire Survivor and its ilk. You will pick one of the various different types of characters, and there are a bunch of enemies that spawn and you need to kill them. One of the major differences with this one is you can actually aim your attack, unlike Vampire Survivor. There is no like skill aiming mechanic in this, but at least you can pick and choose what you're targeting.
Yeah. I gotta wonder how long it's gonna be before we get tired of these games.
Yeah, the fatigue of
Because
this
look,
is gonna be a thing.
I mean, this is like the fifth one of these we've covered, and it's not, and we're going into May.
Yeah. But yeah,
So
you will go. You'll kill waves of enemies. You can get different abilities. I'm playing as basically a spell sword. So I have access to magic and physical attacks. One of the interesting effects with this class I'm playing as is as you level up, it kind of does the red mage thing where whenever you switch elements, it can insta switch to another spell. Like instant cast it, which that's kind of cool to help you lay down some more damage. And that's partly why I picked it. There are other classes, like there are melee focus classes, there are pure range focus classes. You get, instead of weapon fusion like things like Vampire Survivor do, you can even if you get a full assortment of weapons, you can still drop a weapon for new weapons. So say you don't like how something is performing, you can still switch it. You're not just pigeonholed for the run. You can also get you can also banish items. You can get rerolls as you progress. You start with one dodge that is on the by default on the left shoulder button. I have two of them by default because I unlocked some of the meta progression skills. Um, but yeah, overall the game is fun. Again, I've played a lot of Vampire Survivor. I almost have all of the achievements on it, so it's in a lot of ways I do like that they give me more control on what I'm aiming at in this because sometimes especially early on in Vampire Survivor, you can just get screwed because it targets the wrong enemy and you're just boned. One thing that I'm actually not the biggest fan of is in the tutorial area on this. I think it makes you a little too strong, and it's hard to judge how strong you should be because it does the whole thing of the boss becomes just invincible instead of the boss already being a challenge. It just, you're basically go from absolutely beating its ass to it becoming invincible and then you lose. Which, that's not fun. And yeah, whenever you beat a boss, typically it goes by number of monsters. There are some challenge areas that's like the number of elite monsters you defeat, or the number of crystals you break. The various different modes have different methods of progression that usually involve defeating a boss. And then the boss, its Soulstone drops it's basically pick up all of the experience orbs on the field. All of your skills are auto-cast. So basically, once the cooldown finishes, it will cast on its own. There is a multicast ability. I'm not sure what that does precisely. I'm assuming it lets you cast more than one ability at one time, but I don't know if it's just different abilities on your bar or the same ability multiple times. And here you can kind of see where I have my bar filled, so I can either pick one of these abilities and drop one off of my bar, or I can hit the L1 button and get a passive buff instead. So if you really like your loadout, you can just keep getting passive buffs, which is nice since you don't have the option to fuse weapons together. It gives you a way you're not having to drop a weapon if it's not getting you like an upgrade you want. I do wish they would give like specifically level ups more, because sometimes it gets to be very hard to level up the skills you have. There is also a kind of an issue where your playable character is real chatty, like Gex level chatty. Every time you level up, he says something. Every time you defeat an elite mark, he's chatty. A boss spawns, he's chatty. Boss is defeated, he's chatty.
The Horizon franchise is right down the hall.
I know. It's definitely one of those ones where you're going to be turning off the voice lines after very, very shortly.
And I know people complain about the conversational system in AAA games, but at least they're having a conversation, not talking to themselves. But like Bruce Willis in Die Hard.
Yeah, he's like Gex with all the fucking just yapping, but he's not even doing like funny movie quotes. It's just yapping, and the voice lines repeat often. So that does kind of get grating. Again, at least they give you the option to turn it off, so it's not a total deal breaker. And at least on PlayStation, if you have Spotify, you can literally just turn on your own music and zone out. And I guess also on PC, if you decide to play this on there. Is this on Xbox?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look.
Will you do that? There is also a distinct lack of overall like self-healing.
Okay, yeah, it is on Xbox Series X.
All right,
NS.
so you'll have the option to play your own music there too. But yeah, there is a distinct lack of like self-healing. The only real healing there is there's a meta progression ability where you get X amount of HP whenever you level up, and then occasionally crystals will spawn that will give you some HP, like overworld crystals that you need to break. Outside of that, you don't even have any like passive regen. The best you get is maybe when you level up, you'll get more HP, and it does heal the extra MP you gain at least. As far as like completing levels goes, you need to defeat the various lords of the void in each level, and the way you do that is completing, in this specific level's case, defeating X amount of enemies causes the Lord of the Void to spawn. Defeat him, and then the count of the count restarts on how many Lords of the Void you need to defeat. Rinse and repeat. Once you defeat, in this case, 5, you will get another. You'll end the level. You are not invincible when the level ends. You still need to make it back to the portal, but sometimes enemy damaging effects can still be on the field. So you can die on your way to end the level. Which, that sucks. I've definitely had that happen a couple times where I thought I was clear and I was not. There is a whole lot of buffs going on that I honestly is too much for me to process. Like my spell sword dude here has something called finesse, which I'm not even sure what it does. I just know make number go bigger. Which is very much a lot with these kind of games. Like, I'm sure you could probably min-max the hell out of this if you so desire. Or you could just run around and make number go burr. Which, that's kind of, I guess, very much the appeal of something like this. Just being able to shut your brain off and just do, make number go burr. The effects can get a little much. Like, I end up having to turn the effects down a little bit when I'm actually playing, but this is them on max. And that's a little bit overstimulation for my ADHD brain. So I end up turning it down to like 50% so I can actually see what's going on. But, to each their own. The levels usually run about 15 minutes. I haven't noticed, like, much in a difference of, like, the Lords of the Void that show up in each level. So, if you're looking for some variety, you're unfortunately probably not gonna find much of it here. There are varying end bosses, like, to the sections that do get... It's basically like fighting some of the characters that you can play as, like, in their maxed out states, which is kind of interesting. This game, there is also some, like, crafting objects that you can come upon. There's so much stuff going on, I don't know how much of it is dropped by the crystals in the area, or if it's just dropped by, the various enemies. Or if it's literally only just the Soulstone things you pick up. You can also unlock the more you play as characters, the more you, I guess, prestige level up. There's no like there is some skill leveling up, but those are across all characters. You can't just like get levels to make individual characters stronger, at least not yet. There seems to be a section for it in the like skill menu, but I have not unlocked any characters that have like their own specific skill leveling ups. And they're other than buying another weapon from the blacksmith, there isn't any like much in the way of individual character meta progression. Getting new characters is literally just play more of the game, you'll get more characters. Very, very simple with that. The meta progression skills are rather useful. There's obviously, I mentioned the one where you level up, you'll get more HP, which is pretty much your main source of passive healing. There are some skills that give you more XP, more passive damage, you know, the works. You do have armor and block chances and stuff like that. But it's real hard to follow what of that is happening. Oh. There are AoE markers like you would see in a modern MMO, so you can actually get away from skills, which is nice. We've definitely had some of these that doesn't happen. And yeah, I just beat the level, so once you beat a level, you have a few options. You can go back to the main menu with the purple portal, or the blue portal. You can go to an infinite run with the gold portal, and I believe that's a boss fight with the red portal. I'm just going to go back to the top menu, and then you can reset the level if you so desire. I got experience, so I am now level 15. There are curses or like skulls that you can make the levels harder. And you can see I have various different crystals on the top of the screen. So I can I use those to buy different things. With some of these characters, there are different unlock requirements, like this spellcaster dude is defeat 50 Lords of the Void, defeat 50, reach prestige 50 with 5 characters, 100% completion on various areas, defeat 100 Lords of the Void. It's all a lot of just progressing through the game. Here in the blacksmith, you get basically like you can change your loadout almost. Like the level quote unquote level 2 weapon for the spellblade here, I get less health, but I do more damage and I cast more. So basically making a glass cannon. This ice sword, it gives me more critical hit, but it reduces movement and stuff like that. The fire sword, I do less damage, but I do damage in a wider area. And then this last one is more of a tanky stance. There's the rune system, which I never got to unlock. I'm not really sure how. I don't know if that's a skill tree thing. Like, if that's... I think it might be that thing that I need 50,000 skills for. Right now I have access to 3 different major skill trees. I have movement that also has the experience pickups and yeah, it gives you 2 new skills when you level up. There's the damage, so you increase your damage output. And then there's defensive. And then there is achievements, because, you know, who doesn't love achievements? And then your profile. So it shows you, you know, your various wins and whatnot. There is a story going on here. You and your band of guys went into a portal after the King of the Void. You were betrayed by one of them, and everyone was separated, so now you need to get everybody together and go kill the Lord of the Void. If there's more story than that, I'm not really sure, you know, where it even picks up at. Because, like, there's a lot of progression in various ways. Like, once you complete a level to 100%, you can go back through with Curses of the Void to give you, like, reduce all healing. Explosive enemies now show up. Elite enemies have more health. Lords of the Void have more health. Each time you kill an enemy, there's a 2% chance of a meteor falling on your head. And then there's even more curses on top of that to just keep you playing.
Make game harder to get better bonuses.
Literally, yes. There's just a lot going on, but not a lot new, if that makes sense. Just unlocking different characters is such a slog. Because, like, I put a couple hours into this, and I only have 6 characters unlocked. And 3 of them I need to buy, or 7 characters unlocked. Yeah, so... And, like, literally to purchase one of these characters is, like, 10,000 blue crystals, 8 orange crystals, 3 green crystals. So it's... There's a lot of stuff going on here. But yeah, as far as music goes, it was there. I wouldn't be looking for it on Bandcamp or SoundCloud, but I would listen to it over, you know, over the yapping of the character. As far as DLC goes, there is a single DLC on consoles. Let me get to my home here and pull that up. The Supporters Pack. This is cosmetic. It gives you corrupted skins. So basically, you pay the devs $5 for the corrupted skins of the various characters. They look alright. I don't know if there are any other skins available, honestly. So it's hard to tell if, you know, if this is a good buy or not. Obviously, if you like the game and want to give the devs a little more money, then that's totally your bag. Adam, what are we looking at on price wise here?
Quite expensive for one of these. It's $15.
15. It is voice acted, but after
It's also made of like 3D polygons.
yeah. Oh, there is
Like
an in-game skin. Okay. The menus are very hard to get around. And yeah, each of the weapons have different skills. Um Yeah, for $15, if you've not played a Survivor game, this isn't the worst option to get started. Or if you have played like Vampire Survivor and don't like the pure auto targeting and want to be able to target things yourself, this gears it more towards a twin stick shooter in a way. Just an auto shooting twin stick shooter. It's not as ingenious as I believe it was Vampire Hunters, which was the like first person shooter one of these vein.
yeah,
But to be fair, I think that's probably the um biggest change of this
so
in recent. Mhm.
I finally found the big difference between the PC version and the console version.
Oh.
The console version has a demo.
Ah. So yeah, if you want to try it, run the PC demo.
No, it has a console demo,
Oh,
not a PC demo.
the consoles have a demo. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, if you have a is it on all is this on just Xbox, PS5, or is there a Switch version?
There's no Switch version at
All right.
all.
So if you have an Xbox or a PlayStation, then you can give this a try. Is this PS4 or PS5?
Don't see anything about a PlayStation 4 version.
All right, yeah, because this is marked PS5 on my PS5, so I'm guessing that this is PS5 only. But yeah, it's a fine game because again, it gives me the option to turn down the voice. If there was no option to um turn the voiceover down or off, this would be a lot harder sell for me. But since you can, this is fine. It'll keep you occupied for a little while. The levels are bite-sized, at least the earlier ones that I've played are bite-sized enough. You could play this out and about, like if you had the ROG Ally or you had the Steam Deck. Obviously, PlayStation doesn't have a true portable currently. I mean, if you're milling about your house and you have a PS Portal, then sure. But that's a lot harder use case than the pure mobile where, hey, I got 10 minutes to kill. Let's go run a level, you know? But yeah, overall, it's an alright game. Would I pay $15 for it? That would probably be the absolute max I would go with. A sale would be preferable, but you're not there's enough content here you're not getting screwed if you buy it at full price. But yeah, any other questions, comments, or concerns from you guys?
No, I'm good.
Alex, you got
I'm
anything?
also good. Sorry, I was muted.
All right. Alrighty then. Adam,
All
you
right,
there?
so
All right.
that'll about do it for Soulstone Survivors here. Be sure to tune in after the break, as the Golics will be providing his impressions on chicken knots.